Dear students, today let me to take next part of the radioactivity. Radioactivity topic. Now, in previous class, already I told you about the radioactivity. What is the radioactivity process or phenomena, and what are the kinds of radioactive radiations and the properties of those radiations, and why this radioactivity phenomena takes place, or why decay process will take place. Once again, I will make the tell you the revision of that points of that previous class. What is radioactivity? It is the spontaneous disintegration of that heavy nucleus, or spontaneous disintegration of nuclei will takes place into its constituents, so that when it takes place, spontaneous disintegration takes place, then there is a emission of radiations. It is a emission of radiations, and this process phenomenon is called as radioactivity. And this radioactivity phenomena, three kinds of radiations emitted. One is alpha rays, second one is beta rays, and third one is gamma. These kinds of radiations emitted during this phenomenon. It is alpha ray, beta ray, and gamma. Okay, these are the radiations. And why these radiations are emitted? Why these radiations are emitted? Because the nucleus here, as it becomes unstable, or atom will become unstable, so that emission of radiations is possible. Okay, so that these alpha rays, beta rays, gamma rays, we are studying out of these three decays, that is alpha decay, beta decay, gamma decay process. Okay, there are three processes: alpha decay, beta decay, and gamma decay. Out of these three, we are going to study alpha decay and beta decay. Okay, that I will tell you, explain you in detail what is alpha decay, what is beta decay in detail. Okay, so now if we take the emission of alpha rays, these alpha rays are very light because they are identified as helium nuclei. Alpha rays are having +2 charge in it. +2 he has the positively charged particle, therefore +2 is the its charge. So like this, it has a light particle having high ionization power because of its light mass, high ionization power, but low penetration power. Penetration power is very small. That is alpha rays. And beta rays, they are also called as electrons, and there may be possibility when beta ray kinds of these radiations are emitted, depending upon change in atomic number, mass number, it may be positron emission, negatron emission, or electron emission. Three processes are possible in beta emission or beta decay process. And beta rays, they are having more penetration power compared to alpha rays, but less ionization power. Ionization power is less, and they are electrically charged particles, electrons, identified as electrons. Similarly, gamma rays, they are uncharged particles. They are not having any type of charge, and in this case, gamma rays are highly penetration. They have penetration power very large compared to alpha rays and beta rays, but ionization power is very less compared to alpha rays and beta rays. So, like these properties also one by one we have studied in the previous classes, and a detailed study of that I told you in previous class. Today, let me to start this today activity and alpha decay. Let us start with the alpha decay. Before that, just one introduction for this today activity, that when radioactive elements emits alpha rays and beta rays, they can emit alpha or beta. Okay, that they are emitted. The original atom before these emission of these alpha and beta particles, that atom is called as parent atom. That atom is called parent atom. Okay, and another, when the parent atom changes into another after emission of alpha ray, beta ray, then it is called daughter atom. Daughter atom. Before this, it is called parent, but when decay process takes place, it is called daughter atom. Parent atom is said to be daughter because it will disintegrate. One element changes to another element, one kind of element. So one element changes to another element. That I will explain in detail afterwards. If the daughter atom is also radioactive, then that disintegration of this daughter atom will also continue. Then it will become parent atom. So another one, when it changes, that is called daughter. So like this process will continue till the stable element is reached. Till stable element is reached. So that this point you must know here, and it is the result of like this. Why this disintegration takes place? Disintegration why takes place? Because it is the result of instability of atom or nuclei. And usually tendency to change into more simple species, more simple species. Still it reaches the stable element. So therefore, the phenomenon of radioactive distribution is the result of instability of atom or nuclei. In terms of binding energy, so I told you that binding energy is energy required to split the atom into its constituent particle. That is binding energy, or binding energy required to hold the nucleons together. Energy required to hold the nucleons together is called as binding energy. If binding energy of nuclide is greater than total binding energy of fragments, if binding energy of nuclide is greater than the total binding energy of fragments into which it will disintegrate, then alpha or beta emission is possible. Alpha or beta emission is possible. If the binding energy of that nuclide is larger than total energy of fragments, means it will disintegrate. No. After that, fragments are formed. So that fragments formed are called as, again they disintegrate with alpha emission or beta emission. So therefore binding energy is also risen. Right? The binding energy is also greater here. If difference in binding energy of nuclide and total binding energy of fragments is there, then decay process or alpha emission, beta emission process is possible. Such nuclides are disintegrate if energy is supplied to them. Again, suppose energy is less, energy is supplied to them, it will disintegrate. Disintegration process continues. So like this introduction part you must know why this will take place. Then let us study first one called as alpha decay. Alpha decay. What is alpha decay process? Now I told you that alpha decay, alpha emission takes place. Alpha decay means what? Alpha emission takes place from the nucleus. Means when the alpha particle is emitted from the nucleus. Alpha decay is a process. It is a process in which alpha particle is spontaneously emitted from the nucleus. spontaneously emitted from the nucleus. So in this process, parent atom will lose an aggregate of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Parent atom will lose an aggregate of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. The process, okay, this process is called as alpha decay process, where alpha emission is possible. Alpha particle is spontaneously ejected means emitted from the nucleus. So in this process, parent loses an aggregate of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Okay, suppose that I'll explain you. X is an unknown element. Suppose A is the mass number, Z is the atomic number. A is the mass number. Here A is mass number and Z is atomic number. Then this is parent atom, parent nuclei. Then this will change. It's suppose unstable. It is unstable. Then what happens? It will change into this emission of helium-4 2 plus Y8Z. But here this is parent atom. This is daughter atom. What happens? Mass number changes by 4. Atomic number changes by 2. Mass number changes by 4. Atomic number changes by 2. Then helium-4 means what? Is helium nuclei identified as alpha particle. Helium-4 is identified as alpha particle. So here this is parent atom nuclei. This is daughter nuclei. Parent element, daughter element. Okay, this parent element is daughter. Decay process. So this is the helium-4 2. 4 here 4 minus 4 0 A again. 2 minus 2 0 again Z. So that this balance, you see that balance takes place. Therefore here helium-4 I have written. Helium-4 is alpha particle. Now like this the process is possible here. Alpha decay process is possible because of this reason. Okay, as shown in that reaction. Suppose that in terms of binding energy, if you take the sum of binding energy. There should be difference in binding energy before decay, before emission, after emission. Difference in binding energy is there. How it is? If the binding energy of last 2 protons, last 2 neutrons in the nucleus, if the binding energy of last 2 protons and last 2 neutrons is less than the alpha binding energy, then it is possible. Well, binding energy of this parent is such that last 2 protons, last 2 neutrons is less than this alpha binding energy. Then binding energy, energetically this process is possible like this. Energetically means what? In terms of binding energy, we can explain. So binding energy means again there is a difference in mass number. So therefore because of this reason now binding energy, energetically also we can explain this alpha decay process. Now we can study the theory of this alpha decay by means of what is called tunnel effect of alpha particle. It's called tunnel effect of alpha particle. Okay, so what is the tunnel effect of alpha particle? What is the tunnel effect of alpha particles? Now, emission, we have to explain emission of alpha particle from the nucleus or radioactive nucleus. Okay, we have to explain here the emission of alpha particle from radioactive nucleus. How it can be explained? It is on the basis of two types of methods or two types. One is classical mechanics. We can use here classical mechanics. We can use here wave mechanics. Two types. One is classical mechanics. We can use classical mechanics. We can use, or we can use wave mechanics or quantum mechanics. Both are same. Both different. As I told you, it is both mechanics. You have studied, you have studied already in the 5th semester. So, the emission of alpha particle from radioactive nucleus can be explained on basis of these two. One is classical mechanics, another one is wave mechanics. Let us study now first of all how it can be explained on the basis of classical mechanics. Now, the energy of alpha particles which are emitted from the nucleus, suppose it is of the order of 4 MeV. 4 MeV energy of the alpha particles emitted from the nucleus. Emitted from the nucleus. So already we know that this energy, binding energy, can be measured in terms of unit called as MeV, million electron volt. Million electron volt. So the binding energy can be measured in terms of MeV unit. So therefore, from this study of scattering of alpha particles, to study the scattering of alpha particles, suppose that the potential energy at different distance from the nucleus can be obtained. Scattering of alpha particles. Okay, from the study of scattering of alpha particles, means scattering how it takes place. Suppose that this is the element. This is the element scattering material, and alpha ray. Suppose it will strike that scattered material. This scattered material has atom inside it. Atom inside it. Right? So that atom may have positively charged particles. This atom has positively charged particle inside it. So that is usually which type of particles there in atom or in nucleus. Atom consists of nucleus. Okay, there it has positively charged protons, correct? So therefore, it is also positively charged, and this is atom has nucleus positively charged. So that scattering takes place, repulsion, because of repulsion between two, electrostatic repulsion. Electrostatic repulsion between positively charged particle. This is positively charged particle, and this is positively charged. So therefore, scattering takes place with certain angle. From this scattering, study of scattering of alpha particles, the potential energy at different distances from the nucleus can be obtained. Potential energy at different distances means as at different distances can be obtained. How it can be obtained? As the alpha particle approach the nucleus, there is Coulomb repulsion force between two. Means as this distance, suppose that this is nucleus here, and this is center part, and it has distance r. And as alpha particle approaches towards nucleus, then this R decreases. Potential energy increases. So therefore, we can write P as 2Gd square divided by R. I will not do this expression. So this is P is potential energy. That is atomic number. E is elementary charge. R in distance. Okay. This atom or nucleus as a whole spherical in shape. So therefore, as alpha particle approaches this nucleus, then what happens? Potential energy decreases. Remember, initially potential energy of alpha particle is very large. Potential energy is this order, but as it approaches MeV3 to 1 MeV, like this it goes on decreases. Distance, okay, as distance also decreases, V actually decreases. So therefore, we can say here that from this equation that when alpha particle approaches nucleus, its potential energy, it first of all increases. Just listen here. Potential energy of the alpha particle increases, reaches maximum value at certain distance. Potential energy increases at certain distance and from the nucleus. Then at particular distance, suppose that this is R naught. At particular distance, R is equal to R naught. Then what happens? Within that nuclear radius, potential alpha particle have a negative minimum potential within this particular distance. Up to this, it has maximum potential energy. Up to that. Suppose that here I will draw the figure, you will understand again. Suppose that now here this is the maximum value of potential. This is V, it is R. Suppose that it is R. Now this is maximum Vm potential. Okay. Now this is the draw and suppose that R is equal to R naught means what? Here, something I got is spherical because this is nucleus. Okay, now here this R naught value, suppose that R naught value, R naught. Then what happens? This side or this side you can show here. So that is better because we are trying for this side figure. Okay. Then when R is equal to R naught, this distance. Now distance of alpha particle from the nucleus is R. I have taken here. This is R. Suppose that. Okay. As this R, initially it has maximum potential energy. Potential energy increases. Now it has maximum. But add R is equal to R naught, also it is maximum. R is equal to R naught, it is maximum, means it is this value. But this value okay, and R is equal to 1, it is maximum, means A, point A. It is maximum, but R less than R naught, it decreases. R less than R naught value. R less than R naught means alpha particle have negative minimum potential. Minus V naught. R less than R naught. Okay, negative minimum potential. So that means this V naught means negative minimum potential energy. So that means from this V is equal to 2Ze square divided by R. What is the meaning? Alpha particle, as alpha particle approaches the nucleus, then potential energy increases and reaches a maximum value at a certain distance. But as it approaches the nucleus, R smaller than R naught. the alpha particle have negative minimum potential energy. Minus V naught means what? Minus V naught, negative minimum potential energy. Negative minimum potential energy. So that is the meaning of that. So therefore, it is shown in the figure that as alpha particle enters into the nucleus from this side, suppose that its potential energy falls, suddenly falls. How? See in the figure. Suddenly falls as alpha particle enters the nucleus. Its potential energy suddenly falls to negative minimum value. And this type of potential as shown in this figure 1. This type of potential as shown in this figure 1 is named as potential well or barrier. This type of potential here as shown here is called potential well, or it is also called potential barrier. Okay. So this type of potential as shown in the figure is called as potential well or potential barrier. So in figure 1, A, as I told you, it is figure 1. A is the potential height of the potential barrier. R can show here is R is the distance between nucleus and alpha particle. And R naught. R is distance between nucleus and alpha particle. R naught is effective nuclear radius. Okay. Now this is the situation in the study of alpha scattering experiment. Now suppose that to escape from the nucleus, alpha particle, suppose it has to escape from the nucleus, then alpha particle has to overcome this height of the barrier. It has to cross that height. This height it has to cross to overcome that height of the barrier. Similarly, an alpha particle approaching from the nucleus from the outside, also it has to have enough kinetic energy to get over that barrier. This is the situation now. One thing is that suppose it has to come from nucleus, it has to overcome this potential barrier. Another situation is that suppose the alpha particle has to enter from outside into the nucleus, then also it has to overcome that potential barrier, so that it should have enough kinetic energy. So this cannot be explained on the basis of classical mechanics as it is now. This is the classical mechanics explanation. As it is cannot, because the alpha particle will not have enough kinetic energy here to overcome this potential barrier. So for this reason, the alpha particle of energy 4 MeV cannot overcome the height of barrier 9 MeV. Now this is 4 MeV potential energy of the alpha particle, but 9 MeV is height of potential barrier, height of the potential barrier. So therefore, it cannot be explained on the basis of classical mechanics. Here it fails. Classical mechanics fails to explain the emission of alpha particle from nucleus. Classical mechanics fails here to explain the emission of alpha particle from the nucleus. Now it can be explained on the basis of wave mechanics. Now what is this wave mechanics? How it is explained? It was assumed that alpha particle is oscillating with definite wavelength. Alpha particle is oscillating with definite wavelength inside the nucleus. So this is the point all of you might be knowing, that dual nature, the particle nature as well as wave nature. That is dual nature of matter. De Broglie hypothesis all of you have studied. Therefore, here, according to wave mechanics, it is possibility that the alpha particle is oscillating with definite wavelength inside the nucleus, which is in the wave form. Suppose it is wave form, and there is a large probability that alpha particle can exist outside as well as inside. There is a probability that alpha particle can exist outside as well as inside the barrier and inside the nucleus, and because of its wave nature, it is reflected from the walls. It can exist outside as well as inside, and because of its wave nature, it can have the reflected. It can be refracted from the walls of the barrier. Okay, and leaks through the nucleus sometimes. Leaks through the nucleus. Sometimes. Leaks means what? What is leak? Water leak. You might be knowing some wall is there. Water leakage takes place. All of you might understood this leakage. Similarly, here also, similarly in this situation, here also the alpha particle sometimes leaks occasionally leaks the barrier nucleus through the nucleus sometimes occasionally, and also can tunnels through the nucleus. Leaks means tunnels through the nucleus. Okay, and found outside. When the tunneling takes place, then it can be found outside. When it leaks through the barrier, then it can tunnels through the barrier and found outside. Then alpha emission is possible. Alpha decay process is possible. And this can be perfectly explained like this by wave mechanics. In wave mechanics, what they are taken is taken in both form, particle form and wave. Because of wave nature, there is a large probability that particle can exist, alpha particle can exist outside as well as inside the nucleus, and it can, because of this wave nature, it can be reflected from the walls of potential barrier and leaks through the nucleus sometimes. And like this, particle tunnels through the nucleus and found outside. So that is called tunnel effect. It's called tunnel effect of alpha particles. This phenomena in which alpha particle is emitted from the nucleus is called tunnel effect of alpha particles. So this is theory of this theory. There are some expressions we can derive, but already these expressions we have derived now. Period is a potential in one-dimensional box. We studied now quantum mechanics, potential in one-dimensional box, probability of finding the particle outside that box. So that Schrodinger equation you used, and you have studied that. You have studied already how probability of finding the particle outside. So like this we can study using this theory only, wave mechanics only, the alpha decay or alpha emission process is explained clearly. So this phenomenon is called as tunnel effect of alpha particle. So like this theory we have studied. Then little bit we have to study about velocity of particle, range of particles, and Jigger-Nuttall law of relation in this case of alpha decay. So this portion I will take in the next class, but this class you might have understood what is this alpha decay process, why alpha decay takes place. Earlier to this I had given small introduction, okay, why this reactive process takes place in unstable nuclei. So that what is parent nuclei I have understood, what is daughter nuclei. Then afterwards, what is alpha decay process you understood. Okay, and this alpha decay process we have understood taking an example, element X, AZ I explained to you. This is parent, this is daughter. Okay, like this we have explained this, phenomena of alpha decay. Then tunnel effect of alpha particles, clearly explained to you today. You might understood what is tunnel effect of alpha particles using classical mechanics as well as wave mechanics. Okay. So like this you understood this theory also, tunnel effect of alpha particles. Today I'll stop here only, friends. I'll send you notes also. Just go through notes and read the notes. And if you have any doubts, you can ask the questions by asking, contacting us, or by in the comment box also. You can write your questions. Thank you, students.